Hey, my Lipton. So I wanted to do a video about, you know, probably the best documentaries to watch on Netflix and what I've been watching. Now, some of these documentaries I probably watched like last year. I'm just like doing a video about it, today. Obviously, and there's others where it's like I watched it recently. So I'm gonna just go through them and, if you guys feel like watching it, give it a watch, that sort of thing. And let me just say this. I'm a true crime kind of girl. I watch my true crime documentaries. I have the Discovery app on my phone and on my laptop, so it's like I'm definitely into my true crime. So most of this is gonna be about true crime. So if y'all are into that, I definitely suggest you guys watch documentaries that I suggest because I think that they're really interesting. So I'm gonna start with this one, the Times Square killer. Now I never knew about this killer. Okay, because the thing is like we all know about the famous killers and the Ted Bundys, the Jeffrey Dahmers, and stuff like that. But there are other like serial killers that we legit don't know about, or maybe we do know about them, but y'all know about them. But it's just like for me, it's just kind of like, oh, I didn't know about this. But yeah, this was a really good one. I suggest you guys go watch it. And let me just say this, obviously with these like serial killers, they always tend to go for like the most vulnerable people, like prostitutes and that sort of thing, and that's what this documentary is about. But yeah, this was a very interesting one, a very good one, so I suggest you guys go watch the Times Square Killer documentary. um I don't know if people watch this, maybe they have, because he's also one of the most famous serial killers in like American history. But like the John Wayne Gacy tapes, this one I didn't know too much about John Wayne Gacy. I just always seen the picture of like the clown stuff. So I'll be like, okay, it's probably a clown. Like this guy's just like going around and just acting a fool. But no, like he was just, this man was sick. He was sick. He was twisted. He was evil. This and I also want to give a disclaimer. These documentaries are graphic. They definitely has some nudity, some things like that. Obviously they're cursing, so but then again, if you guys have Netflix, you guys would know that there's a lot of sections of Netflix where it's no holds barred when it comes to like the content and nudity and the curse words and that sort of thing. But yeah, this is also a really good documentary. Actually watched this last day. I just wanted to do I wanted to talk about it in my video today because it's like I think that it definitely deserves its praise for the way it was produced and everything like that. But yeah, I definitely suggest you guys go watch this. It was a good documentary. The Sons of Sam, Descent into Darkness. Let me tell you something. I watched there was a documentary that came out, I think on ID Discovery. It was about Son of Sam, right? And this was years ago. I watched this documentary years ago. It was on the ID channel. And for me, I'm thinking to myself, because apparently that was like the surface level stuff when it came to the Son of Sam killer. Because obviously they pointed out some of the shootings and that sort of thing and how he was caught and everything. But the way this Netflix documentary goes into like the specifics about the police department and like the cultness of it all and like the devil worshipping of it all, and like there could be way more people involved in the situation than we even know of, is crazy to me. So this definitely takes you into a rabbit hole of like, yo, like this is something that's here, and just because we just caught this guy one time, there's still people out here. There's still people out here that's just like who probably enabled him and who's okay with his activities, and it definitely takes you into a rabbit hole. And I'm surprised the ID Discovery documentary that I watched years ago, and it had to be like maybe 3, 4 years ago when I watched that. I'm surprised they didn't go into like the rabbit hole of like the cult stuff that's been happening with this particular situation. But they focused on like the surface, like oh, like he took his advice from a dog and da 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 da. But they didn't get into like how like the police were corrupt and like and everything that just happened after this killer was caught. Like it was a lot of shit that happened afterwards. So I definitely recommend y'all to go watch Sons of Sam Descendant into Darkness. So because it's crazy. Child, yo, I watched this documentary 2 days ago. Okay, don't pick up the phone is one of the most I'm sorry, infuriating. I'm sorry, I don't know how to speak. This documentary made me so angry, y'all. I was so pissed. I was so angry throughout this whole document, especially on the first episode. The first episode sent me into oblivion. I was so mad at everybody involved, except for like the police officers, that sort of thing. Because the shit that happens in this documentary is just the most preposterous things I've ever heard in my life and seen in my life. I never saw, and it's like someone pointed this out in the comment section. They said, and because a lot of the crimes that happened in this documentary happened in small towns and those small little towns where it's like you gotta respect law enforcement, blah 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 blah. So it's like a lot of the times common sense goes out the window. And that's what happened in this documentary when it came to these victims, when it came to, like just, I don't even know how to explain it. That's the thing, because it's just like, it's the most craziest, like, thing I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, like, someone wrote a comment saying that unfortunately, a lot of these small towns, like, in Kentucky or in Idaho and stuff like that, like, they're so behind as far as like common sense wise when it comes to like they're behind like maybe like 40, 50 years. It's like they're so gullible. They're so just like, okay, I'm gonna respect law enforcement no matter what. But it's just like they're not even taking into account who is telling them to do this, why are they telling them to do this. And I don't even want to spoil it. That's the thing too. I don't even want to spoil it. I want y'all guys to go watch this thing to understand where I'm coming from, because this documentary really, really, I was pissed off the whole thing. Even towards this, I will say this though. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I should say it, but I'm gonna say it. But this is a spoiler, a quick spoiler, and that's it. Um, this documentary starts off making you mad, and it ends up making you mad towards the end. I do feel like there is no silver lining in this documentary. Unfortunately, there is no silver lining because it's so hard. This is one of those cases where it's like it's hard to really, really prosecute because of like the nature of the crime. You know what I mean? And just like the people involved unintentionally with some, with a few of them, and then intentionally with others. But it's one of those things where it's very hard to prosecute. So it definitely starts off making you mad and it ends up making you mad. There's no gray area for this, unfortunately. So yeah, I definitely suggest to go watch Don't Pick Up the Phone, because I'm actually surprised this documentary didn't make too much noise, like the way like a John Wayne Gacy or Jeffrey Dahmer episode, Jeffrey Dahmer series or that sort of thing. This one didn't make too much noise. I was actually surprised by it because it was produced really well and directed really well. So, and the cinematography and everything, it was done really well. So I'm surprised this documentary definitely should have been pushed way more. But yeah, this is infuriating, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed thinking about it. I'm pissed. Like it's insane. Whew, child. The girl in the picture. Let me see. I said something. This documentary right here is one of the most saddest, I don't know why I can't say it. Infuriating, sad, infuriating, like pissed, angry, want to fight. This documentary is one of those things too. I will say that there is somewhat of a silver lining towards the end of this documentary, but this documentary was really, really hard to digest, to swallow. Like, this made me hurt. This documentary made me hurt. I was hurt. I was like, this is like, what is this? And it's just, it's a situation to where I feel like the justice system did fail in some ways when it came to the criminal in this case, because it's like, this criminal in this documentary, he's been committing crime since like the 1950s or 60s, and it's like, y'all continue to let him out. Y'all continue to let him out even though he's done these heinous, these disgusting crimes. But yeah, y'all don't give him life in prison. Y'all won't do that. But y'all give him like 10, 20 years, and that's it. And it's like, y'all need to stop letting these rapists, these freaking murderers out after 20 years. If y'all don't give these motherfuckers life in prison and stop playing with me, why are y'all letting them out? And it's like, they come out and they're causing even more destruction within society. Like crimes against humanity type of shit. So it's like, I was hurt throughout this whole documentary, and I suggest you guys definitely go watch this. This really, really, it hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. It really did. There's nothing else to really say. The girl in the picture hurt my soul. Okay, and it's just, I'm sad throughout this. Yeah, it was just terrible, terrible. But good documentary, produced well, everything was good, enjoyed it. Lastly, so this is the only one that's not a true crime documentary, but I watched Pamela: A Love Story last week, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think that, I know Pamela Anderson, but like, I didn't know about like her life like that. Obviously, with the surface level stuff with the Tommy Lee stuff and that sort of thing, but there's way more to Pamela than the obviously meets the eye, and she definitely expressed that in this documentary. It was produced really well. I know her son also produced this documentary as well. There are some things I definitely didn't know about Pamela. Like, I didn't know how the relationship ended. I actually thought the relationship ended with Pamela and Tommy due to like the sex tape that they made, Tommy Lee. But it turned out that wasn't the case. Like, I had no idea Tommy Lee put his hands on Pamela. I had no clue. Oh, sorry, spoiler. But yeah, I had no clue that he did that. I was like, Tommy. But yeah, but that's how they ended. But then Pamela too. Pamela is also, she went through a lot of childhood trauma and a lot of things that happened to her. When she came into this industry to Hollywood, how they objectified her, and that sort of thing. So yeah, she definitely went through a lot. And then the relationships that she was in, she was just back to back to back to back. Pamela definitely needed some good therapy. Hopefully she got the therapy needed. She needed someone to talk to. She needs to be alone. She needs to learn how to love herself. And but yeah, this was another thing too that was kind of, it was somewhat gut wrenching in some ways, but there was also some definitely silver lining towards the end. It was some good moments, some funny moments. There's definitely a lot of nudity in this documentary. I wasn't expecting the amount of nudity that was there, but there was there. They put the Playboy stuff, because Pamela's like, listen, yeah, I did Playboy. Here it is. Boom, boom, boom. So, I will say this though. I did see an interview with Pamela Anderson did with Jimmy Kimmel recently when she was promoting this documentary, and she was like, "Yeah, I watched the documentary with my son," and I was just like, Your son watched the documentary when you were butt naked in the documentary?" I was like, "Oh my god, please tell me you were like." And then she was like, "Oh, I was covering his eyes for certain moments." I was just like, "Girl, the Playboy stuff is like throughout the whole documentary. It's like, girl, like you needed to I don't know. I don't know. I was like, like, I don't know what I was thinking of that. I was like, you let your sons watch this stuff? This is crazy. And then on top of that, like, the sexual stuff that happens too between their dad and parent. I was just like, okay, I don't know how your son watched it, but maybe he can stomach that, because I can never hear that between you and my no ma'am. Nope, 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 nope. But yeah, I enjoyed this documentary. I thought it was a good one. I definitely recommend you guys to go watch it. Go form your guys' own opinions. But yeah, like, those are my the documentary picks that I've been watching that I recommend, because I just think that it was really, really done really well. But if there's anything else, honestly, I think I might try to do some more videos like this, some recommended documentary videos or recommended movies to watch. But we'll see. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. Please tell me what y'all guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.